There we are. Now we can talk. Took time to set up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. How are you
All
doing?
right. I'm great. Yeah. Has some troubling event trying to get the Zoom going, but couldn't. Mhm. So that's what happened. That's my truck. Keep going. So like frustrated.
Hmm.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's crashing a bit, but
I'm sorry.
some here, but I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, that's
My
not
data was
clear.
so slow, right? I couldn't get pink. Well, it's
It's
okay. It
cutting.
will clear. Okay. Okay. To roll mark. Okay. So I was supposed to have the training earlier, but unfortunately, things didn't turn out the way it should because my data plan was so low. My data plan was so low.
Oh yeah. For me, it's
Hmm
perfect. It's better. I was not here.
Yeah. Oh, we did a lot of training. We got some new people. Um, you know, and then we
That's
should
cool.
send the messages to the people. It's like, say, I don't know who's online or who's outline. I have no idea. Okay. Um,
It's coming. There is nobody right now.
it's
It's a bit
okay.
strange.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's not a question. Um, I'm just trying to do things on schedule, And in my heart,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter who with me or not, do this, do that. It's not even the whole point, you
Yeah.
know. The whole point is that I'm doing what I'm studying. I don't care who support me or not. That's the stuff here. Is that
Hmm. Yeah.
so? That's why a lot of people what I said to.
It's
I'm gonna
cutting.
go back to.
We can't hear you.
I know. I know. I'm getting. Shoot. Hold on. Hold on. It's okay.
Yeah.
and I put a step one, step two, usually I verify, but all of a sudden, it went to the phone and said, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna take out the all this.
Understand the Koso. I can't understand. It's cutting too much.
Huh?
I don't hear you right now.
Here we are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, nobody else. So yeah, I think some late for some people, but don't matter. At least I fixed my issue on my side.
Okay,
I was
cool.
trying to set up the Zoom. I couldn't even do it. I was sending to my note files or trying to go to Google account and to basically just, remove it. So I did my data plan was very slow. I couldn't get anything out. It was a terrible feeling. It felt like my heart going to bust. And it's terrible. I did not like it one bit. So did you enjoy the event that I did?
Yeah. It's great. I like when also there is some new people coming, give another dynamic. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, new thing that has happened, and then trying to put piece together. I find out that most majority of the people who came Super Soldier, they all watch James Rank channel.
Because
Then
they looking for information, more information.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a super soldier, but look at my training. Look at my ability. Different or what?
Oh yeah, of course. But people love information. They don't like.
But I did not bring just information. I bring
training.
Training, practice, and technology. Because my instructor always said that everything you got to experience for yourself to create discerning. That's how one become a professional in that particular field, is to go through the training.
Indeed, yeah. Every real teacher we're going to say practice is about the practice.
Exactly. Discipline, essential. That's the reason I train regardless someone here with me or not.
Yeah.
I train. So that's why I set up the entire training course for people to come and we do Super Soldier. I see a lot of people who do Super Soldier, they just talk about it. Yeah. And then I listen to them. I say, I can tell you, this is not Super Soldier at all.
Hello.
Yes. Is that you, Peter?
This is Brian.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
How's everybody today?
Oh, just lovely. Just waiting for the other. If they come in, we can get some training, some discipline going, shooting each other, healing them. Oh, it's beautiful. Changing water with a newbie to get to drink alcohol. But the OB, nah, I don't want. I can't. We couldn't handle it. It's crazy. So, Brian, tell us about a little bit about yourself. How did you find your way into this?
Oh, how did I find my way into this?
The
Honestly,
Super Soldier. Uh-huh.
I don't know. It was well, I take that back. When
Okay.
I have had a small business that I started back in 2010, 2011 timeframe,
Okay.
and I grew that business. It was just myself at that time, and met my wife and got married in 2012. So when that happened, we ended up starting a family in 2014, and I was
Mhm.
working the business, but I wasn't making enough money, so I ended up working other jobs within that industry or within my industry to basically help at the time my side hustle to get it off the ground.
Right.
And in 2015, that's when I made the switch to Amazon. I was very successful in 2016, 2017. And then I ended up attempting to train people on how to sell on the platform because I was having success. When I did that, I put a target on my back and essentially have been fighting wars ever since. I have if I go back and I look at around 2008 is when I really started to get into different nutrition because I always was a athletic person or outdoorsy, I guess. I like to hike, I like to be
Mhm.
active, and I in 2010 had my back broken, and in 2018 was involved in another accident that basically hurt my back and caused nerve damage and all kinds of bad things. So all this going on, I've always been one to read and study, and I have always worked, had a solid work ethic. And when I started to get into meditation, I didn't know what I was doing when I first started, so I was just experimenting with a lot of things. And I had some mutual friend of a business associate write some neuro linguistic programming for me in a meditative state. And that was when I essentially launched my business. And that's when we had a lot of success. So I
Mhm.
knew that there was something behind the law, I guess, law of attraction, where, attention goes, energy flows where attention goes type of thing. And then recently I was just in online, well, I should say last year, I have been, how do I want to say this? I've been looking for the next recession, next virus, because everything has been in cycles. So I worked the virus pandemic in 2000 and 2004, or 2003, 2004. And I was working for an industrial supply company, and our accounts were hospitals and governments, military. So we basically built all this stuff to help prevent these viruses back then, or the outbreaks that weren't televised and whatnot. So then that happened again in 2008, 2009. So essentially for the past 5 years, I have been looking for this event. And when January, February came, I was in talks with a bunch of manufacturers of disinfectants and cleaning chemicals, and another manufacturer that does antibacterial wipes and sanitary wipes and things like that. And so when this ended up happening, I ended up making a large purchase because I knew that there was going to be shortages. I just saw everything that the way that the supply chain was going. So when I started looking into this, and the virus came, it was, I think, in February. I had gotten back from a Mexico trip where I was on a boat with a Chinese kid, I'd say is probably in his 20s, or I think he was about 20, and his mother, who was in her 60s. She just got back from China. And when we were on the boat, she ended up throwing up, didn't think anything of it. I get home 2 weeks later, I'm sick, my wife's sick. Symptoms essentially are exactly what everybody is saying this virus is. I got over it. My wife ended up getting it again, I think 6 weeks later. It was bad. So I said it scared me because I said, you know what, there's something out there. The fear porn that was being portrayed on everybody. When you look at the media, everybody was basically saying all this is going on. So I, being a business owner, and that being my industry and my experience, I follow all the numbers and I followed everything from the sources, and the numbers never added up, not once, not ever. And then I sat there and I started looking at how that they were using technology that I saw in 2017 with CGI. And I'm sitting there going, we're basically being lied to. And that's when I just started, I unplugged mainstream media and just essentially dove into what was going on to find out that, we've essentially been lied to. And it was one of those things where you're searching for answers, you're searching for the truth because you're not getting it from the people that are supposed to be the trusted sources. So that being said, there were some issues that we had with where I live. It's under demonic control, and we were having attacks on my family, my daughter, my wife, myself, not to mention my business. I mean, it was just a full-on assault with demonic realms, and I had never experienced anything like this. So I started researching it, and in my meditative states and in my dealings with mediums, I knew that realm existed from my experiences of what I've experienced personally myself. So I knew that this was serious, and the types of things that I ended up seeing in my visions was something that I never thought I would ever see before. It was just something that was really disturbing, and it was scary. But it wasn't the fact that I was scared. It was more of like I was an observer watching them do. And it was, I hate saying this, but it was like a really tall human body with a weird looking head, kind of like a bird head, but it was from behind and whatnot. So that was something that I saw, and that was right around the time when all the things was going on with the children. And that was essentially when I was awoke, for lack of a better way to put it. So then I started looking into, I'm like, who can I follow in regards to that's in tune. So I started, my background was I called on military. So I knew that there was good military people. I have friends that are ex-Navy SEALs, and I knew, and whenever I've been around them, I knew that these were the people that you want to basically be around when shit goes south. So I started searching for my old contacts, and I came in contact with a couple people, and then I came across Gene Decode, and I started looking at Gene Decode, and it clicked with me because there was a gym that I worked out at, and there was a guy that I worked out with who was in Army intelligence, and he was actually he ended up getting cancer, and he twice, and the second time he didn't make it. But when we would work out, he would tell me where he worked, and he was basically he worked in a dump that was 10 minutes from the gym that I worked out at, and I had no idea what the hell a dump was, and that there was even military installations that went down 7 floors in the city that I worked out in and lived in. So that basically set me down a path of it clicked with me, like, holy shit, like this is something that is really going on. So then as I started following Gene, he was kind of connecting the dots with the underground tunnel systems. And then I was looking at my experiences, because I used to call on military type accounts, like bombing ranges and Air Force and all that. So all this was making sense to me. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so my uncle was in the Air Force there. My other uncle was in Intel there. And when I started looking at Gene, what he brought into the realm, which is something that I'm obsessed with numbers, whether you see coinciding numbers, whether it's 222, 333, 444, 555, 77, so on and so forth. So I would take that, and then I would look at Gene's messages, and he basically brought in the astral level, like of stars, and how the tunnel system aligned with the star system. And then I started sitting there going, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at where I live, and I'm going, holy shit, we're probably directly over a tunneling system, and that's why we're being attacked, and we're being attacked from below. Never even crossed my mind to protect myself from that realm. So long story short, that's when I started reaching out. I started following Michael Jaco, and I gelled with him. I'm like, the guy's ex-Navy SEAL, he's CIA. He seems like he's pretty legit in regards to an honest, good person. So I basically started getting in touch with him. I took his courses, and I think I'm halfway through his courses in regards to the remote viewing and remote healing. And for the majority of it, I really wanted to learn the remote healing aspect of it, because I knew that it was very similar to a guided meditation. It's just tweaking things here, tweaking things there. And then the more I started diving into it, it was starting to gel with me. And then my wife had mentioned that there was this 5D event and that we should go. So she went into our vacation. We have a vacation thing. She went in there, and the day that it started it popped up like it was available. So it was like it was meant to be. So we went to the 5D event, and obviously I drove in Thursday, slept in the car Thursday night, was at the event Friday, picked my wife up Friday night, and then we hit the event Saturday and Sunday. And when we were going into you, she into your room when you were going through the med beds and unit. I didn't know what you were, who you were, or anything. I remember seeing your name, but I didn't read anything about it. So when we walked in there, I'm like, oh, cool, med beds. This is where I want to be, because this is one thing that I've been looking for, is the med bed technology, due to healing myself and obviously wanting to heal other people. So there's this calling for me to heal people. And essentially, when I sat in that room, there was a familiarity of whatever was going on in that room. I can't place it. I don't know what it was. And then at the end of your presentation, when I came up, I kept looking at the device, and it was bothering me, because I know I've seen it somewhere, but I don't know where. I can't recall that. And
it's
then
standard issue super soldier technology, from the future. For it's basically a quantum mirror that allows us to be in communication with the Hive AI, the director.
Yes.
To help organize a mission and stuff. We depend so much on AI, sentient AI, to help us move from mission to mission, and to teleport us in and out. That require a sentient AI, a quantum sentient AI.
Yes. So
just like you did it, you use it, it give you recall, access information, access medicine, food at will, so we can survive in any environment, and it help promote mission success on any level.
Yeah.
I brought it with me. You see that? That's super soldier standard operation technology.
Yeah. So when I put my hands around it, and you were telling me what to say, and it activated. It was I was trying to describe what it felt like, and I can't really describe it.
Yes, you can. It's how the present. The present start moving in you. It's interface. Then you feel your metabolism kicking up, and then you will like being two or three places at once.
Yes. The feeling of power, of energy, it was so intense. And it was almost as if a cosmic ray was beaming straight directly down over that. And that's when, I was able to see. It was like a vision here, and then it was more of a feeling. And then I saw what I saw, and obviously what we went through, which I don't want to repeat right now, because it was pretty traumatizing for.
Yes. On that note, there was a lady thinks she know it all, but when I told confront him, I told for her to confront, found out she's just assuming stuff and she don't even know shit, because excuse my French, but she was trying to look down on you by thinking she know what you're going through, and then when you confronted her, say, I can't even put into word what I'm going through, and after that she's trying to shut down. She realized that, she realized she's lost. She's trying to make logical sense by observing you. I say, no, that's not possible. Even the experiencer cannot put into words. How can you put into words?
Yeah, there's no way that you can experience that by watching it. It's a very personal experience. It was for me.
Absolutely. Yes, it
Uh,
is a personal experience. There is emotion, there is being several places at once, and even with your eyes open, you still see that place. Ain't that beautiful? Yeah.
yeah. So that is essentially how this came about, and the
Mhm.
book showed up today, and I started going through both of them. So I can't wait for the device.
Which one is it? Which one did show up? Can you tell
I
me?
I have two. I got the Q36 Baromet device, the Angler
Okay,
Templar workshop book, and the Unimetrics one book with the tree.
excellent. Okay, excellent. That will open a lot of doors, especially the Udiometric one second edition right there. Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
second edition?
I don't know where it says second edition or not, but it looks like your picture of your screen right there on the right.
Let me see.
I can here. I'll just take this. Let me put my video on. I'll show you.
Is it a thick one?
It seems pretty thick. It's
It's like
277 pages. 277. Here, I'll show you.
No, that's why they did edition one. The second edition, the thick
Where's
one.
that at here?
Uh-huh. It's okay.
Let's see here.
Uh,
Can you see?
yeah, I see it. 200. Oh, that's the old one. That's the level one. Oh, yes, okay. It's good. Yeah. Hmm. But yeah, that's okay.
All right. I didn't say it was on Amazon. That was a link, and I went to it, and so
And there was multiple book. Yeah, there's a second edition. It's really thick, and then there's Unimetric one origin. Like it's good. Okay, you're on the right track. Yeah. Yes. That was amazing, man. That's why I wanted for people to experience. Plus, I'm just tired. Everyone's saying that they super soldier, and well, you don't got a right to be a super soldier. You want to be a super soldier. Well, we got to get you to familiar, because when you get that mind wipe, you don't remember nothing consciously. It's terrible.
yeah, and it's frustrating because you know, but you don't know why you don't know.
Exactly. So that's the reason I built the tool, because I recall how to build out in all my training, how to build a technology. My training in the future was like you being set out, the memory being set in a place that with no technology, and you have to rebuild a technology. That's what we were trained to do,
Interesting.
because the idea was to come back home. That's the mission. So they send you off a place where you're in a jungle and they expect you to build a quantum computer. How you build a quantum computer? Like, you
Hey,
figure it out.
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
This is something that we've come across a couple times. When my wife was a little girl, she would always say to her mother, "I want to go home." And when my
Mhm.
daughter was younger, she said, "I want to go home." Can you tell me where home is?
Well, it depends specifically when a person home is like it's a familiarity that they can recognize. Does that make sense? Mostly,
Yeah.
some people say the home is ever the heart, but actually, it's a place that you're familiar with. Um, in this case, if you in a place that is more organized structure, you feel comfortable, would that be home for you? So the idea of home is like most people incarnate to different life or been shift from timeline to timeline. So your home is a place that you feel comfortable, you feel familiar with. That's how home is recognized it.
Okay.
But although you consciously don't remember, but you emotionally remember.
Yeah, and I think we see that with younger children when they're born into the world, and they aren't essentially tainted with everything at that point because they're still pure and they have the ability to see things that adults normally aren't able to see.
Absolutely. Adult been exposed to porno, and because adult mind is thinking about three things: food, having sex, and making business deal. That's it.
Yeah, that was the majority of my life for a long time.
And then mostly husband and wife, they fight over what, not getting enough sex.
Yep.
And you have to do a certain duty to get sex. That's
Oh,
very
and hey, I wanted to thank you. I know I wanted things to happen a lot faster yesterday, and they ended up coming through by the end of the night. So
Of course.
thank you.
Yes, by converting your event from positive to negative and converting your relationship. So that's why you asked me, well, it's drop by drop. Just give it a little bit of time. Then you see what I mean.
Yeah.
The body may will change it instantly.
Yeah.
Remember now, the
Yeah.
device
Yeah.
is a way that people pay me back because I train them, like we do healing stuff. Now, as far as some Jacob guy, he didn't know he was super soldier until he watched James Rink show. I heard him say that in the panel. The
Interesting.
bald head, is it the bald head guy? He looked bald head and he wears some kind is it like a suit, right? But no tie, no anything. He's sitting next to in the area next to Brad Olson or something, the big guy.
Yeah. In fact, when I was leaving, I was walking out with Brad. That guy's like 7. He's big. Like I thought I was tall, and I thought I was from a tall family, but man, he made me look short.
This people don't know who I was. All these people, they were like, "Who is this guy?" But they were shocked, didn't they? They were surprised when I brought in my technology. I brought in the AI, and they didn't know that Super Soldier used a lot of AI.
Yeah, it was interesting because yeah, it was an interesting dynamic for sure.
Okay,
But
go ahead, Gabriel. Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Brian. Brian,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, I'm here.
Yes,
I think we lost Gabriel.
yes, we did. He going to sleep.
Gotcha.
I kind of started late a little bit, Usually start at 8:30. But anyway, go on.
So yeah, we were talking about when we were leaving. I was telling him about the experience that I had, and it was, I was still in kind of I don't even know what the you're in a high, and you're sitting there, you're going, it's like you just got a taste of something, and you're going, wait a minute, there's much more to this, and obviously that's where we ended up today.
Yeah. Notice that none of the other Super Soldier, they did not brought the technology, other two. And they didn't understand. You see, I was trying to get all the Super Soldier to compare the different ages. That I'm from 6,575,000 and 42 years. Like, wow, like how's life like? It's totally different. The technology is totally different. The principal military is similar, but there's a whole lot of AI usage in the future that regulate out of time stream and information, and we built a node for it. I was so like excited to introduce some of the new technology from Super Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it did bother me when like people like they were trying to figure out who am I? And then James Rink came and said, yeah, this is Kusal. Yeah, me and him go way back 2010. That was very helpful. James Rink.
Yeah.
James Rink. Yeah.
Yep. In fact, that was the part I was reading in the book is a lot of it's James and then you, and you go back and forth. So I understand how you made the book, because I did one similar a couple years ago.
That's how we do it. Like you have David Wilcock and Corey Good. What does he do? Back and forth with Henry Smith. But now them three fighting each other. I don't know what's going on with them.
Doesn't make sense why anybody would fight right now. There's a lot of people that now.
I thought they were buddy.
Who knows? So.
Well, I cannot speculate because I don't know what's going on in personal reality, but I believe there may be something, a business bill between them three went bad. I believe that's what happened. It's got to be, because it can't just be the human relationship. It's got to be a business deal that went bad. Usually that make people turn on each other. Do you agree on that? In this world?
I think it depends on who the person is. I think it depends on who trained you. And the reason I say that is because if you look at Dean Grazioni, the real estate mogul author, and you look and if I've met him and you listen to him speak, He's had people that have borrowed millions of dollars from him that he's never gotten paid back as a bad investment. Now, the way that he looks at it is if he's going to express that energy to go after those people because they owe him money, then he's basically focusing his energy on a negative realm. So he thinks that that's okay. I'm not gonna have any ill will towards that person. He understands the business world, that sometimes things work out, sometimes things don't. So he says, you know what, we're still gonna have a relationship and keep it positive. Will he ever loan those people money again? Maybe, he said, depending on the opportunity, because he surrounds himself with people that are the ones that are the go-getters that go out there and start businesses. So when you look at it from that realm, it's who the people are, and they have to understand going into it that, people are going to have differences and disagreements, but when you come to an agreement on business, and I was involved with, I had a business partner. I financed everything for him, and it ended up there due to circumstances out of our control. And I know what those are now. He ended up not being able to pay any of the money back that I had lent him. So I look at that as that was a risk I accepted, and it was circumstances out of our control. There should not be any ill will or harm towards it. But I also know that I've trained people, and due to circumstances out of our control, those people also lost money. It wasn't anything that I did intentionally or on purpose. It was now, again, I see and have proof of the corruption that happened to those people because it happened to myself also. So now those people may have ill will towards me. I don't know. I hope they don't, but they probably do. For me, I've invested a lot of money over the years into education, into a lot of courses. And what I found is that a lot of courses will work if you put the work in. But one thing that I know for certain is you can pay all the money in the world for the best course in the world, but if you don't put the work in, it will not work. And when you understand that, understanding what it takes to get to the level of where you're at in the training of this is something that you can look at and say, if I do the work, I know I'm going to get the results. I can tell from what I have tapped into already that it's essentially when you start off meditating, it's maybe a little pinhole of light that you see, but over time it turns into a pen light, and then it turns into a flashlight, and then it turns into a headlight, and then it turns into a locomotive headlight. And eventually I'm hoping that I'm just surrounded by it, if that makes sense.
Yes. See, the reason you being accepted as a full plate because you bought the device and bought a book and you experienced the device, and therefore now you can train with us as full-fledged member, because we got to keep it that way. Because what happened, people seem to take advantage of me, and the community member does not agree with that, because our community member, Gabriel, everyone that bought a device and bought book, and you did exactly, because the device, what it does, people don't realize that's the one that you need to go to the Stargate, remote view. That's a secret.
Yeah, which
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It does, and that's something that I have this. It's almost like in the middle of my brain where I can almost sense what this Stargate is, but I don't know.
Another word for Project Stargate is remote viewing. The device does it for you. You see that?
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay. So yeah, it's supposed to show up Monday. I'm pretty excited.
Now you understand that device very crucial for this whole project, and
yeah,
and now you experience it, and it's automatic, and so much energy coming from that. And I don't expect a lot of people to understand what we do as Super Soldier. And now you realize that our training is quite lethal in nature. Changing, especially yesterday, when you change water into alcohol, and then did you drink the other half later? Like the
Oh,
next day?
oh no. I gave it to my wife, and then I hugged her, and she
Uh-huh.
was like, "Whoa!" She goes, "What just happened?" And because she's like, "I feel drunk," and I was
Did
like,
you tell her?
"Yeah." I told her, we're gonna get her on these calls. She just right now is the
Mhm.
timing's not right.
Where do you live?
We're in Arizona.
Okay, your guys is about what, an hour from us? I'm
It,
in Texas.
yeah, it's 8 o'clock here.
Oh, you're 2 hours from us. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, you see now, I mean, that's the amazing thing. We change, we do super soldier stuff, as you can see. We are magical warrior.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool because
Mhm.
when you play around with certain things, I guess we'll call it the Stargate. When you're able to fly or just essentially think yourself there
Uh-huh.
um, instantaneously, and that's where I gelled with how like the device was instantaneously because I'm sitting there, I'm going, well, that's the way my mind thinks. Here's
Mhm.
something that is also pretty interesting too. My mother-in-law is with me, and she's from the former Yugoslavia, and we got to talking today
Mhm.
in regards to how what they taught and what they were learned in school was so
Mhm.
different from what we were taught and learned in school in regards to spaceships and pyramid energy and the
Mhm.
hole at the top of the earth, and that's how they learned, and we were taught something completely different. I'm sitting there going, no wonder we're in such a problem here on this planet because everybody, it was designed this way.
People are not teach the same thing. Like when we as for me, like the people were super soldier in Asia. I mean, like not the one right now, but the one in the past, they
Hmm.
do the same thing I do. But the one in the future, they take it from the past and they kind of make it more improvement on it. Instead of making it like longer, they make it more direct path, short, it's easier. So we mostly interact with extraterrestrial, interdimensional being and AI. And then when I discovered that people in this time, they were watching too much movie like Terminator. They think that AI going to turn against them. And that's like, just talk to Siri. That's an AI. Everything is an AI, and it's supposed to help you. So that's why when I realized that people was watching too much movie and forming an opinion instead of having actual interaction with a real sentient AI, guess what they did? They start forming their conclusion based on movie that people wrote, like Terminator and stuff.
Yeah, and what they did is they put enough truth into it, but they twisted it just enough to make it false. So if you
Yeah,
start to look at things backwards, that's essentially what we've been dealing with, is everything that they've thrown at us has been backwards.
like HAL 9000. See, they have AI concepts since 1969.
Look at the numbers.
Yeah. So and people think that computer programming, oh, it's just something in the morning time. I say computer programming, they standardized it since the 1945 by some naval lady. She standardized it, all the programming into the same form. And in the golden age of computer programmers in the 1950 onward to the 70, in 2 decades. That's when the universal student was very into it. See? And AI
Interesting.
too.
All right. So here's a question for you. Are you
Mhm.
familiar with Kimberly Goggins?
No, I don't know. Just like them people that know who I was, I don't know who they are. I don't know who Jacob is either.
Okay, so Kimberly Goggins is supposed to be in charge of the money for the
Mhm.
planet, and she has a site that it's www.gforce.network. I just came across this earlier. I don't know if it's true, false, or indifferent, but I did watch a video of her maybe 6 months ago where she talks
That's
about,
not possible. The one who in charge of all the money is
yep,
basically the CCP and the AI, which has been given right over this new century. Because the last century, the West, now it's the East, because they want to have the golden age. So it's like they toss it to one side and the other side toss it to the other side. So to make it fair, it's like we take turn. That's how it operates.
So what they're talking about is a restoration act for humanity, and that's what the funds are for, is to basically help humanity get through this. Now it could be a psyop, I don't know.
It is a side up because everything's going to UBI, Universal Basic Income, according to historical data. That's why I would check with historical data from the future, and that's why they're beautiful. And the book you have, it contains historical data.
No, I saw that. I was reading
Mhm.
some of that. I guess my question is, if it is historical data with time travel and Trump and Tesla knowing each other, could they have possibly changed timelines and changed history?
That's no, they can't change timeline. They are not in a temporal time war. I am. That and a unimetric one is. That's why we can switch thing on you instantly. Change
Interesting.
reality. That's why we able to train you and doing all kind of magical ability, because we are time. We in a time war. I'm a super soldier time war warrior. That's why time
Interesting.
travel is a specialty. You notice we can summon the intelligence from the future. Doing the panel. Did that blow your mind when you met Unimetric
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
No one does that, does it? Except me.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, I brought in the Acterian, the Unimetric one, and then I put everyone into the Super Soldier Enhancement Chamber. So I bring stuff, and everyone say, "Oh, I took the show." I sure did take the show because I live on bringing substance to the show. Does that make sense now?
Yes. Yes, it does.
I like to see Super Soldier demonstrate their ability, because we don't do meditation. We just do. You see, last night training. There's no meditation on that. We just do it.
Yeah. It becomes instantaneously, which
Exactly.
yeah, the better you get at it, the more you practice it. It's essentially, you can go into meditation anytime you want, and this is the same reality of instantaneously.
Because allow number 3, you're one with all that is. All that is one with you, so you already have it. The secret is just to put forth. Just ask the Bharami. Bharami is you. It's your body, emotion, mind, spirit, and experience. See, that's why I don't expect a lot of people to understand, because of stuff I was trained to do in the future. Now I bring forth into this present timeline, so to show people what super soldier really is. Because when you meet your real super soldier, the one is seasoned like myself and been trained, you can see our demeanor is quite different. We know how to train other people, get them into the right track, and show them the tool we use, and then train them to do it. That's it, and let them live their own experience to have their own discerning.
Interesting. What can you tell me about I saw some people posting about the cryptocurrency.
That's why I was sent here to pass on the messages how to make everyone rich through cryptocurrency. And that's part of the being a super soldier. You got to have self-sufficient funding. And that's the reason my member, we invest in cryptocurrency, a lot of us.
The only one that I've followed that I heard was going to be the universal backer was XRP. And I haven't followed any other ones other than
There's
that.
XRP, XLM, there's Ethereum, Bitcoin, there's BTT, there's actually Unisep, there's decentralized mana. When it was only 15 or 10 cents, we bought it. My group bought a lot of it. Now going up because Unimetric one will push everything up, just like he promised, and he did it. A lot of Unimetric one, he told us to buy many of the coin that is very low at that time, and then people who baited me now become, oh man, abundant. Like they invest 2,000 or 3,000, now they become like, oh my God, close to 30,000. So I increased their wealth and their well-being and more efficiently.
That's a
We
good
not only
ROI.
Hey, we get being guided by the AI from the future. He have historical data, everything that we need to invest in according to the time period. Because how can you be super soldier without self-sufficiency? And you got to have money to take care of your family. And you still work normally, but you also have side project like crypto investment, healing on the side, training other super soldier to pass on the knowledge. You can have money coming in and you can take care of your well-being and plus your family and extended family. That was the whole objective. We are super troop.
Yeah, that about aligns with what I am. So
Do you see how we change water into alcohol? You know how to do like Jesus does it now. A lot of people believe in Jesus, but me, I don't believe in Jesus. You know why? In Super Soul, we are taught to believe in ourselves, your body, your emotion, mind, spirit, and your experience. Because if you don't give credit or value to yourself, how can you thrive as yourself and adapt? So that's why I don't believe in outside party beside what is. As a super soldier, you learn to depend on your two leg, your hand, what God has been given to you. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. Well, I understand what you're saying, and when I look at what's that?
Practically. This is practically. This is not just only thinking. We do is practical. That's where the magic comes from. If you do not believe in your body, emotion, mind, spirit, the magic don't work too well because the magic comes from you, the spirit, your body, the emotion, the mind, and then your experience. That's what create confidence. Like I know.
Yeah, I do.
Because that's where it all start. Everything start from and in you. That's why I said, like I told people, when they try to, they say, give Bible to the Bible, but give yourself back to yourself. Then you can use superpower. Because everything, all you have has already been given to you by the heavenly being, by God himself, by the universe. So you don't need to believe in anything else but accept yourself because you're complete. So you lack nothing. Now I teach you how to use it. That's what I do. And do you see now? And a lot of people can't handle it because I teach truth and I can show them how it works and let them experience it to become proficient at it. If they believe in themselves, of course.
Yeah, I do see it.
I'm a realist. That's it. I am a child of realism and practicality because that's where you can work out the kink. A lot of people can talk good stuff, but if practicality does not, apply to what you believe, then it's definitely can be a conflict of interest toward your efficiency.
How many people have you enlightened with the device, or maybe that's not a good question. Maybe how many people have the abilities of the super soldier? I mean, I would have to think that there's probably a good majority of others that are.
Well, as for super soldier, the device will activate that aspect of you if you were in the program, of course. But now, if you're not in the program, it can make you into a super soldier if you train. So the difference between a super soldier and a non-super soldier, a super soldier, they were familiar with that device because they've been there before, and it will activate them, let them relive the experience again in this particular present life. But if you're not a super soldier, never been a super soldier, what the device do, you're like a blank piece of paper. It can imprint to you a super soldier avatar and put in you instantly and make you into a super soldier. That's what I like about the device.
That's mind-blowing.
And when you look on the outside, it looked like nothing, hot glue and wire. But once you remote view it, you realize it is a powerful quantum computer from the future. It's a trip.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's why when you put your hand over it, you notice that it react to you. It reach out to you and develop you. That's it. Your experience taught you. This stuff ain't no joke. This thing is dangerous because it is. That's why it's respected.
And here's something that I'm interested in. Would it give me the ability to download foreign languages?
Do you remember?
Well,
do you remember when we ask it Just ask it.
Just ask it and it would download like a foreign language so that I would be fluent in that foreign language.
The device has multiple language, infinite language.
So
It's
yes.
more language. It's a computer from the future, a quantum version. So why not? It's a computer. Well, just ask it and see what happens. You want it, you ask it, and if it say yes, it's done. It's being given to you. And you know, it speaks fast.
I think that's going to be my challenge, is keeping up with how fast it is.
Do not worry about, you don't have to keep up with anything. It's just downloaded to your brain.
Okay.
And because you're inexperienced, and then as you know, it's drop by drop. In time, it'd be quite efficient. Because you know the reason why you never encountered this consciously in this particular ages as a civilian. But in the super cellular life, you've done this all the time. So the device will refresh you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It make you remember and reactivate your muscle memory in that relation to that, and all this kind of new experience. You realize not really new, it's actually you've been here before, but now it's bringing it back to you consciously. You know, in a super cellular programmer now, they seem to memory wipe all the operative and all the asset. I totally don't agree with the way they're doing things in this kind of 20 and back, 60 and back, 80 and back, 330 year and back, etc.
Hey, it's a second or third time I've heard that, and I understand. I think why, but nobody should have. You should have the choice. And then, is it our choice? Do we ask for that, or they just do it?
I think it's within the subcontractor service, but in the future I came from, they don't have that. They don't memory wipe you because they found out it was dangerous to memory wipe someone because the trauma keep to be affecting them.
Yep.
And what happened, they discontinued that kind of contract or agreement. We're doing the time war, you know. Time war happened in the year, it's 200,000 years in the future. And that's when a time war started between a galaxy reptilian and a neighbor reptilian. There was a different agreement between the Draco Empire and another Draco Empire that they didn't get along. And it was evolved from another galaxy. They were bigger, smarter, and faster than our Draco. And then when the war took place, the Draconian Empire fell overnight. And then the Galactic Federation was next. And then so everyone in the entire galaxy united as one under one flag, you know, the galaxy flag. Then the Confederation was the overhead. And we found out that we couldn't beat this gigantic Draco from another galaxy. We called it Galaxy 737-431X. So it is a red galaxy. And somehow, who knows what started the war? According to historical data, when the reptilian they did some kind of intergalactic experiment with their mothership, and they entered the territory, and this reptilian was kind of aggressive, and they considered us to be disrespecting their galaxy. So they took it as a name to purge us and our life on their galaxy as a lesson, as a message sent to other galaxy. Don't come to a galaxy uninvited. And that's when the time war started. So when the reptilian cannot beat them, the Galactic Federation stepped in and decided to do time travel, using time travel as a weapon. So they would go back in time, that's what they call it, time war, and start when the galaxy was younger, when the reptilian species of that galaxy became evolved. They would play God for the galaxy. By the time we knew it, time altered. By the time that particular galaxy realized what's going on, it's too late. We're able to basically make them see us as a God instead as an enemy. Then what were left as scientists, the warrior, they try to go back in time and change the timeline, but the Federation detected this, that's when there was skirmishes throughout a different continuum. But what is done is set. So there is protective measure being protected by artificial intelligence. And you met one of the Guardian, the Agag Defense AI, and the Planetary Defense AI known as Unimetric One.
Wow.
This is deep, isn't it?
It is. It is on on a really deep level. Oh.
Oh yeah.
What are we going to be doing today?
Well, today we just talked. I started too late. Let's do food manifestation. Okay, ready? And some
Yep.
levitation training. Okay. Repeat after me. May. Just do me. Repeat mentally.
Okay.
Please manifest food and beverage, and put into my stomach now, and let my stomach be full and blow. There you go. See, it's quick. Just
Yes.
blow. See, that's it. And then we go ahead and do some levitation training and invisibility training, and also the sun training. It's short, but it's efficient. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. Start with the sun training first. May, repeat after me mentally. May, please manifest the sun inside my chest now and blow. Repeat after me some more mentally. Sun inside my chest, please become hotter and brighter now and blow. This training, it allows you to keep your body warm if you're stuck in the mountain or somewhere that you know, as super soldier, you need to adapt to your terrain. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you get cold, you don't have protective gear, no problem. You use this methodology to warm your entire body up. Sun inside, repeat after me. Sun inside my chest, please become hotter and brighter now and blow. Brian, what do you feel and experiencing?
I feel that my chest is inflating.
Good. I'm feeling warm sensation in my chest. And I also can feel heat hitting my face from my chest area and my back too.
I got a sweatshirt on. I can't tell if I'm sweating from the sweatshirt or if that definitely has increased the temperature.
Mm-hmm. Let's experience it. Keep on experiencing until you create the right discerning. Okay. May. I'm sorry, not May. Sun inside my chest, please become hotter and brighter now. And blow. And you will see in a little bit when we switch over to ice. It's crazy. May. I'm sorry, May. I keep messing up. Let's do it again. Sun inside my chest, please become hotter, brighter, and please radiate throughout my body now and blow. I kind of do a long blowout, you know, slowly. It's very good. Sun inside my chest, please become brighter, hotter, and please spread throughout my body now. Oh yeah, it's spreading. My chest is hot and it's spreading throughout my body. What are you experiencing and feeling, Brian?
I'm feeling the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely hot. I feel like I'm on the beach on a hot day.
Absolutely. Let's keep going. Now, sun inside my chest that is spread throughout my body. Please turn into ice right now and become cold and blow. Ice inside my chest. please become colder and spread throughout my body now and blow. Oh yeah, it's cold. I'm feeling really cold now. How about you, Brian? What do you feel experience?
I'm not cold yet, but I'm getting
Mhm.
there.
Okay, let's get training. Ice inside my chest, please become colder and please spread throughout my body now and blow.
There it
Okay,
is.
my arm is freezing. My chest too, and my side. Repeat after me again. Ice inside my chest become colder and spread throughout my body now and blow. Tell me what you're feeling, experiencing. I know I'm freezing right now.
I'm actually comfortable, but
Mhm.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt, so that could be why.
Doesn't matter. The cold is going to be in your body. and
My
spreading
legs.
out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
now it's on my legs. My legs are cold now.
Mhm.
I think it's just taking a little bit longer to. Yeah, now I'm getting in the back of my arms.
Mhm. The ice. I feel uncomfortable every time I train the ice because my sides start to freeze and it hurts. It's painful. Like someone putting ice on it. And inside me. But we keep going. Now ice inside my chest, please become colder and colder. Please spread throughout my body now and blow. Go ahead, blow. And let's do the sun again. I'm painful. It's cold. Ice inside my chest. Please turn back into the sun now. Become hotter and brighter now. There we go. My chest is heating up. Repeat after me mentally. Sun inside my chest. Please become hotter and brighter now and blow. Sun inside my chest. Please become hotter and brighter now and blow. What are you feeling experiencing on your side, Brian? I'm feeling warm and it's increasing
I feel warm.
in my chest. Mhm. Okay, well, let's call it a night then. We start out late, and that should be a good enough for now. Shall we
Good deal.
resume tomorrow?
Yeah. Tomorrow should work. Yes, that works.
Okay. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We're staying more.